I'm happy we have both sides on the Newshour tonight, from within the Aam Aadmi Party, those who are on one side, those who are on the other, and I hope and I promise, in fact, that unlike what happened today in the National Council meeting, we won't come to blows, at least on this discussion. Now, on one side is Professor Anand Kumar. He's a professor at JNU. He's been in political life for 50 years. Now he is a rebel AAP leader. He might not have imagined 2 weeks back that he would be a rebel, but that's where it stands tonight. Professor Anand Kumar, thanks for coming. You've had a rough day. Madhu Bhaduri on the other side, also with him, is one of the founder members. Madhu Bhaduri, sorry. Bhaduri is founder member of the AAP. She left the party earlier. She has problems with the way things are going on. Kamal Faruqui, also critical tonight, is a well-known political activist. When he spoke out against the Samajwadi Party earlier, he was also thrown out. So he has personal experience of what it feels to speak and be thrown out. Now, on the other side, political editor of The Outlook, she usually has been supportive of Kejriwal. Let's see where she stands today, Saba Naqvi. Arun Bhatia, former IAS officer, supportive of Kejriwal, despite all that's happening. Thank you very much. And Bhagwant Mann is Member of Parliament from the Aam Aadmi Party of the Lok Sabha. बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद Bhagwant Mann ji. Debate शुरू करते हैं. My first question goes to Anand Kumar. पहले तो ये समझते हैं Professor Anand Kumar कि आज हुआ क्या? What happened today? Professor, let's settle that first before we get into the deeper issues. What happened today? So if I were to begin by asking you, you've given your side of the story at that press conference at the press club. But why should we believe you? Because it almost seems unbelievable that it has come down to this. You know, this whole narration. Bouncers in the meeting, voting and non-voting members, emotional speech by Arvind Kejriwal and then he walks out. Somebody being beaten up, bouncers pulling out a party MLA, beating him up. Right? Then Arvind Kejriwal allowing the beating up to happen, doing nothing about it. It just seems no right of reply, right? And then seems to be some kind of a chaotic voice vote, no secret ballot. Everything that goes against what the Aam Aadmi Party stood for has happened today if we believe Yogendra Yadav. My question is, why should we believe Yogendra Yadav? Because the other side says none of this happened. The other side says this is all made up by Yogendra Yadav and company. So why should we believe you, Professor?
Well, people in power think that they have a privilege and which is called living in denial.
Right.
And ministers are never wrong. People who have won elections are never wrong. But what happened today was a very successful passing of the first test of lumpenization of a party with a difference. I have been in the movement for a long time. I have seen working of parties from close quarters. But today I felt that this was very innovative exercise where lumpens and goons were there as managers of the affair. They were boxers. They had denied, actually banned, coming of our Lokpal Admiral Ramdas, who was honoring us by attending every meeting since 26 November 2012, the foundation day. But let us not go in details. Let us not say that Yogendra Yadav said all the truth. Hear it from my friend Bhagwant Mann ji, who came and tried to persuade the Aam Aadmi Party Lok Sabha leader and a very respected human rights activist for 40 years, Dr Dharam Vira Gandhi. He begged him to come back, not to go out. And Dr Dharam Vira Gandhi told him like a younger brother, you go and enjoy this gundagardi. I am not here to surrender my wisdom and my convictions. It was a sad day.
No, Bhagwant Mann ji.
Bad day.
No, Bhagwant Mann ji.
Day.
No, Bhagwant Mann ji. Bhagwant Mann ji, I'll come to the details. Bhagwant Mann ji, जरा कहिए आप अपनी तरफ से, क्योंकि आज प्रोफेसर अनंत कुमार ने सीधा आपके नाम लेके उन्होंने कहा है कि आप थे वहां पे जब मारपीट हो रही थी. When you were there, when the thrashing, the beating, the assaults, the physical violence were happening. He has taken your name directly. Respond to him.
No, ये बिल्कुल गलत है. प्रोफेसर साहब, बहुत मैं
नहीं गलत क्या गलत है?
प्रोफेसर साहब का मैं बहुत सत्कार करता हूं, मैं बहुत रिस्पेक्ट करता हूं इनकी. देखिए, जब मीटिंग से ये बाहर निकले, जब वोटिंग होने लगी, क्योंकि हम तो नॉन वोटिंग इनवाइटीज थे, हम तो वोट कर नहीं सकते थे। तो जब वोटिंग होने लगी तो एकदम से बाहर निकलने लगे रमजान भाई, रमजान जी और प्रशांत जी, और साथ में प्रोफेसर साहब भी थे और योगेंद्र जी। तो बाहर जो एकदम से भीड़ जो थी बाहर के तरफ निकली, तो मैं भी गया, गांधी जी भी चले गए, हमारे एमपी जो थे। तो मैं जब वो अपना मोबाइल वगैरह कलेक्ट कर रहे थे तो मैं प्रोफेसर साहब को भी मिला था मैं। तो वहां पर मैंने ये कहा था कि आप अंदर आइए, आप अपनी बात रखिए, अपना पक्ष रखिए। तो लेकिन ये तो कह रहे थे कि जी गुंडागर्दी हो रही है, कहां बाउंसर हैं। एक भी बाउंसर या कोई बॉक्सर हमें नहीं मिला। जो हमारा व्यवस्था ठीक करने वाली लड़कियां 80% तो उसमें महिलाएं थी, वो वहां पे मीटिंग को चला रहे थे हम। तो बिल्कुल भी ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है।
नहीं, एक मिनट प्रोफेसर साहब, आपको नहीं आप कह रहे हैं नहीं, इस बात को सेटल कर ले, इस बात को सेटल कर ले। एक मिनट जरा एक मिनट संक्षिप्त में पूछूंगा, इस बात को सेटल कर ले, क्योंकि जिस बात लोगों को घिनौनी लगती है कि आम आदमी पार्टी के मीटिंग में मारपीट हो, बाउंसर्स हो, बॉक्सर्स हो, लोगों को मारा जाए, बोलने का मौका नहीं दिया जाए। क्या आप कह रहे हैं प्रोफेसर अनंत कुमार, योगेंद्र यादव जो कह रहे हैं वो झूठ बोल रहे हैं? उन्होंने तो कहा कि आप थे वहां पे, यू वर देयर व्हेन दिस वाज हैपनिंग। भगवंत मान, यू वर देयर।
नो
यू वर देयर।
मैं मीटिंग में था, मीटिंग में कोई ऐसी बात नहीं हुई है,
नहीं हुई।
पक्ष रखने का मौका मिलना था, लेकिन ये तो पहले ही जब लोगों ने वोट के लिए अपना हाथ उठाया तो ये सब कुछ एकदम से धक्का मुक्की करके बाहर निकले।
No, 1 second, Bhagwant Mann. Let me now hear from Professor Anand Kumar, because this is what they are saying is the people were being beaten up. That in fact they are saying that at one stage, and Professor, you can correct me if I am wrong, that at one stage Yogendra Yadav ran out. He ran out to try and protect somebody, Ramzan, who was being beaten up outside. And he said, इनको पकड़ के घसीट के ले जाया गया. Anand Kumar, maybe you can give me that incident, what exactly happened. Yogendra Yadav said he was held by the collar, pulled out and was being beaten up outside.
और is this correct? No, what's it? अर्नब ये पूछिए, जब ये हो रहा था तो मैं वहां था, तो आप क्या कह रहे हैं? आप नहीं थे तो नहीं हुआ? एक मिनट, प्रोफेसर आनंद कुमार, ही इज सेइंग आई वाज नॉट देयर। मैं ऐसा हुए नहीं, मेरी आंखों के सामने ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ।
नाउ प्रोफेसर आनंद कुमार, लेट पीपल डिसाइड, लेट मी हियर फ्रॉम यू। Straight denial is now coming from Bhagwant Mann.
See, Bhagwant Mann ji was introduced in the beginning along with two other members of parliament like our heroes, and they are our heroes. And they receded, they went back because they were sitting away from the National Council proper members. They were special invitees. And Ramzan Chaudhary,
yes,
a leader of Mewat, was physically picked up and assaulted outside the hall when Yogendra Yadav ran, hearing it and listening it and seeing it to protect him. Ramzan Chaudhary was taken later on to Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital for medical examination. He's a man of substance. He took courage to invite Anna Hazare in 2011. He has been patron of India Against Corruption movement. He was one of the pillars. He is one of the pillars of Aam Aadmi Party. And you had no shame in beating him up for no good reason.
Bhagwant Mann, you beat up a person who's...
ये बिल्कुल बेसलेस है जी। मैं इन्होंने जब वो जो जिस कमरे में जो सभी नेशनल काउंसिल के मेंबर बैठे थे, जैसे ये निकले, सभी इकट्ठे निकले, प्रशांत जी, योगेंद्र जी, प्रोफेसर साहब भी थे, अजीत झा जी थे, गांधी साहब थे, इकट्ठे गेट से निकले।
नहीं, मुझे आज
समय कोई
नहीं तो मुझे ये बताइए, नहीं मुझे ये बताइए होगा। मुझे एक बात बताइए, एक वन ऑफ यू, नो वन सेकंड भगवंत मान, इसीलिए परसों योगेंद्र यादव ने कहा कि वीडियोग्राफ कीजिए। वीडियो टेप कहां है? सब कुछ कहां है वीडियोग्राफी कहां है? निकालिए, दिखाइए।
प्रोफेसर साहब से पूछिए, दो कैमरे, एक मिनट, प्रोफेसर साहब से पूछिए, 2 कैमरे चल रहे थे। अगर उस वीडियो में कोई मार कुटाई आती है तो हम सजा के हकदार हैं।
नो, वीडियो किसकी थी? वीडियोग्राफी तो अरविंद केजरीवाल की थी। वो तो दिखाएंगे जो
ऐसा था।
आपने मीडिया को अलाउ नहीं किया? यस,
नहीं,
प्रोफेसर
The videography was there to cover the speaker. That means the camera was focused on the face of the speaker, whoever he or she may be. But I'll give you one solution, Arnab ji and Bhagwant bhai. If Ramjan Chaudhary, the mass leader of Mewat, comes on your program tomorrow,
yes,
and verifies and brings medical report from Brahman or Lohia Hospital, I don't want to lose Bhagwant Mann, he's a star in the parliament. Will anybody from the Aam Aadmi Party present leadership resign from their post? I don't want to include Chief Arvind Kejriwal in this list.
Okay.
Will they resign?
Okay, fine.
And if it is wrong, which I am saying now, I will leave politics forever. I will leave from public life.
Bhagwant Mann, answer him. Tomorrow, Anand Kumar कह रहे हैं that अगर वो medical reports दिखाए, जिसमें proof किया जाए कि उनको मारा गया उनके
अर्नब पहले तो ये कह रहे थे कि वीडियोग्राफी नहीं कराएंगे, जब 2 कैमरे लगे हुए थे। अब कह रहे हैं कि कैमरा तो सिर्फ स्पीकर के फेस पर था, क्लोजअप पर था, उस वक्त तो कोई स्पीच ही नहीं दे रहा था जब इन्होंने हंगामा किया है। अगर उस कमरे की वीडियो कोई मिल जाए जिसमें रमजान जी के साथ या किसी भी हमारे नेता के साथ या हमारे प्रशांत जी के साथ कोई धक्का मुक्की हमारे किसी वॉलंटियर ने की हो, तो हम जिम्मेदार हैं। जो सजा हमें भुगतनी होगी, हम भुगतने के लिए तैयार हैं।
At this point of time, I want to welcome. At this point,
मैंने कहा रमजान भाई को, मैंने वो कहा कि रमजान चौधरी जी को बुलाइए कल, भगवंत भाई को बुलाइए कल, डॉक्टर धर्मवीर गांधी लोकसभा में हमारे पार्टी के नेता को बुलाइए कल। अगर रमजान चौधरी कहते हैं कि मुझे नहीं मारा गया, ये झूठ फैलाया जा रहा है, मैं सार्वजनिक जीवन से संन्यास ले लूंगा। अगर उन्होंने कहा कि उनको मारा गया और ये झूठ फैलाया जा रहा है कि उनको नहीं मारा गया, तो इस समय जो आम आदमी पार्टी का गैंगअप बना है, कौन राजनीति छोड़ेगा, कौन कुर्सी छोड़ेगा, कौन झूठ के लिए देश से माफी मांगेगा?
तो ठीक है, बैठा लीजिए, कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन मुझे इतना पता है, मैं इस बात की गारंटी लेता हूं अर्नब जी कि जिस कमरे में नेशनल काउंसिल हो रही थी उस कमरे में कोई ऐसी बात नहीं हुई। बाहर जाने के बाद जब मैं गया तब मुझे पता चला। कंधे पर हाथ रख रहे हैं।
भगवंत मान, ये जो सवाल है, एक बात समझ लीजिए कि ट्रांसपेरेंसी की बात है। आपकी पार्टी, योर पार्टी यूज्ड टू मॉक, एंड आई वांट टू वेलकम एट दिस स्टेज Prashant Bhushan live on the Saturday evening edition of the Newshour. And I just want to say this, I'm not taking sides in this. I think there are many harsh questions which Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav also have to answer, but a point is to be made that a party that mocked the lack of transparency in decision making in other parties today stands exposed for the lack of any transparency in the events that transpired today. And I have 4 questions. Was there a proper vote or was there not? Were people beaten up or were they not? Was dissent crushed or was it not? Were the proceedings videographed or were they not? And should the internal Lokpal have been there or should he not? These are 5 questions that needs to be answered by the other side. By the way, to the other panelists, I'm coming to you in a few minutes. I'm just establishing the narration of what happened today. So to Saba, to Kamal Faruqui, to Ms. Bhaduri, as well as to Arun Bhatia, I apologize to keep you waiting, but Prashant Bhushan, good evening. Now tell me, Prashant Bhushan, first question which I asked today, I saw you very worked up in that press conference. You're usually a cool customer. Today you almost lost your temper at the press conference. You were worked up. What were you worked up about?
I was worked up about this kind of hooliganism and gundaism that happened in this National Council meeting today, because I had now already come to see lies being spoken. I had come to see ethical principles being bent. I had come to see criminal candidates being selected, but I had yet to see this kind of open gundaism and hooliganism that was indulged in the meeting today. To begin with, the Lokpal of the party was not allowed to enter the meeting despite his request, despite the fact that he was an invitee to all the previous meetings, and he was told that his presence would create a confrontation, which provoked him to write a letter to the party saying how, on what basis are they saying that his presence will provoke a confrontation?
But they say, no, their argument is simple.
There were a large
their
number
argument
of people allowed
National
inside.
Council meeting. Their argument is, that yes, Admiral Ramdas is not a member of the Aam Aadmi Party. How can he attend a meeting of the National Conference of the Aam Aadmi Party?
He had always been invited to the National Council meetings.
But that's convention. You are quoting convention, not rule.
Meetings.
They are throwing a technicality.
No, but how did they invite all these Delhi MLAs who are not members? These MLAs who indulged in this hooliganism today, they are not members of the National Council. How were they invited?
They deny the hooliganism.
Why were they invited?
Bhushan.
And why were people, founder members of the National Council who were not allowed?
Sorry, they have denied the hooliganism. Haven't you heard them? Tonight I have on the program. Actually, my format is a one-on-one with you. That's what we have agreed to. Otherwise, I have on the program Bhagwant Mann. They deny the hooliganism. He says never happened. He said there are 2 cameras inside. Let them prove.
So why did they not allow the Lokpal? Why did they not allow people to carry their mobile phones? Why did they not allow people to carry even their pens inside? Why did they have bouncers in that hall?
They say there were no bouncers. They say there were no bouncers. They say Prashant, Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav are making this up.
So why did they not allow the Lokpal or people to carry their own mobile phones through which they could have recorded what happened? Why was this not allowed?
So anyway, see, listen, Prashant Bhushan ji.
For people to be asked to deposit their mobile phones outside, it was unprecedented not to allow the Lokpal inside. And the person who has been beaten up, he is admitted to Ram Manohar Lohia
so with your
hospital.
permission, 1 minute, with your permission, with your permission, may I just want to ask one question back to Bhagwant Mann. I'll come to you. I'm not getting into a debate with him because that's what you agreed, you not to debate. But let me ask a question on the other side to make this discussion more relevant with you. Do I have your permission, Prashant Bhushan? One question on the other side, the way establish it, I come back to you. Okay. So, Bhagwant Mann ji. Bhagwant Mann ji, मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है. पहले तो मुझे बड़ा सरप्राइजिंग लग रहा है आप जो कह रहे हैं. आपकी आर्गुमेंट सिंपली ये है, भगवत मान जी, कि अगर हादसा आपके आंखों के सामने नहीं हुआ तो हादसा हुआ ही नहीं. In fact, one of the viewers has sent me a message. I want to read it out to you.
नहीं कह रहा.
No. उनका एक व्यूअर ने लिखा है, the argument of Bhagwant Mann is that if a crime does not take place in front of his eyes, then the crime did not take place at all. Wow, he says. But the crime is of your party workers being beaten up in your party meeting.
नहीं, अब क्योंकि शुरुआत में प्रोफेसर आनंद कुमार जी ने कहा था कि भगवंत मान जी वहां थे. मैं उस बात का जवाब दे रहा था कि नेशनल काउंसिल जहां जिस कमरे में हो रही थी, प्रशांत जी को भी पूछ लीजिए, प्रशांत जी बैठे थे. और नेशनल काउंसिल जब हो रही थी, पहले तो कल ये कह रहे थे कि वीडियोग्राफी नहीं करवाएंगे. अब वीडियोग्राफी के लिए 2 कैमरे लगे हुए थे या ना लगे हुए थे,
कैमरे थे.
अब उसके बाद ये कह रहे हैं लोकपाल जो मेंबर ही नहीं है. जब मेंबर नहीं है, हमने इनवाइट नहीं किया, तो उनको क्यों इनवाइट किया? ये कैसी बातें हैं फिर?
नहीं, आप one second. First, I'm going back to the sequence of events. One question I have for you, and this question comes from a viewer in Kolkata. His name is Abhishek Datta, and he asked a very fundamental question, very relevant to you. Tell me, Bhagwant Mann, was any show cause notice served to Yogendra Yadav or Prashant Bhushan for anti-party activities? Were they given a show cause notice? Were they given a show cause notice?
पिछले 1 महीने से
were they given a show cause notice? Answer me.
जो भी हमारे
one second. Anand Kumar, before I go back to Prashant Bhushan, I ask the question to Anand Kumar. Were they given a show cause notice? 1. Were they allowed to speak at the meeting today? 2.
हमारे संविधान के मुताबिक जो चिट्ठी पत्र एक दूसरे को लीक भी हुए, आप मीडिया को हुए.
नहीं, was there a show notice? No. Why is this question relevant? This question is relevant tomorrow because the viewer continues, Abhishek Datta from Kolkata continues to ask the second question, and he says, if no show cause notice was served, then if in future Narendra Modi or anyone or Amit Shah or Sonia Gandhi does the same thing against any colleague of their party by brute force, by virtue of majority, then will the Aam Aadmi Party support that? No, 1 second.
So Arnab ji, बहुत सी
दुखद बात तो ये है ना कि ये सवाल का जवाब आप नहीं दे पा रहे हैं. Was a show, आप yes or ना show cause notice ना बोलने का opportunity. Next, Anand Kumar, 1 minute. Was there a show cause notice? A, were they allowed to present their point of view? 2, Was there a right of reply? 3. And when the vote was going on to throw them out, I am told Yogendra Yadav says, let me reply, and they try to write down something. And at that point of time, a vote goes on. It's not even a secret ballot. It's an open show of hands. Now tell me your point of view on this, Anand Kumar, before I go back to Prashant. Prashant Bhushan wants to reply. No, Prashant Bhushan wants to reply. I'm getting back Prashant Bhushan.
All your 4 questions, the answer is no.
Not merely an open show of hands. No. More than half the people inside that hall were not members of the National Council. More than half the people were not members of the National Council in that hall. How can you have an open show of hands without distinguishing who are members of the National Council and who are not?
Jawab dijiye, Bhagwant Mann.
Absurd the manner in which the proceedings were conducted.
So I'm asking, jawab dijiye.
311 votes cast हुए, 311 टोटल जो प्रेजेंस जो हाजिरी में लगी है रजिस्ट्री में।
नहीं किसका?
उसमें
भगवान मान जी 311 तो वोटिंग में नहीं वहां उस मीटिंग में।
प्रशांत भूषण replies, who knows these numbers? You say 300।
अरे हाजिरी लगी है, रजिस्टर चेक कर लेना।
311 तो वोटिंग मेंबर्स थे ही नहीं उस मीटिंग में,
उससे पहले ही।
अरे क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
मतों में
आप दिखा दीजिए उनकी लिस्ट वोटिंग मेंबर्स की, नेशनल फाउंडर मेंबर्स की।
सब
दिखा दीजिए कि 311 वोटिंग मेंबर्स
जाने के बाद भी वीडियोग्राफी हुई है। आपके जाने के बाद भी वीडियोग्राफी हुई है, हमारे पास अकेले अकेले की डिटेल है।
तो जाने के बाद
अरे वो मैं देख रहा था किस तरह की वीडियोग्राफी हुई है। आपके 2 कैमरे थे, दोनों ही स्पीकर की तरफ पॉइंटेड थे, और वो भी कैमरे आपके कंट्रोल में है। क्या चीज आप दिखाएंगे, क्या चीज नहीं दिखाएंगे, आपके कंट्रोल में है। हमने बोला था हमको वीडियोग्राफी करने दीजिए, हमने बोला था कि मेंबर्स को वीडियोग्राफी करने दीजिए। आपने सबके फोन रखवा लिए, सबके पेन रखवा लिए। ऐसा कभी हुआ है?
तो आप इसका मतलब ये चाहते हैं कैमरामैन भी आप लिस्ट में दोगे कि इसको कैमरामैन बनना है, इसको ये बनना है। तो योगेंद्र, प्रशांत जी, मैं आपकी रिस्पेक्ट करता हूं, मैं आपके साथ डिबेट नहीं करना चाहता, आप बहुत सीनियर हैं, बहुत मैं, लेकिन
मैं आपकी अब रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करता। मुझे दुर्भाग्य के साथ कहना पड़ रहा है कि मैं आपकी रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करता।
ओके, 1 सेकंड प्लीज।
ऐसी गुंडागिरी जो टॉलरेट करता है उसकी मैं रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करता।
जो जिस कमरे में नेशनल काउंसिल हो रही थी उसमें कोई गुंडागर्दी नहीं हुई है, ये वीडियोग्राफी में है।
Okay, I'll ask one. I'll ask one question. No, 1 minute, 1 minute. कैमरा पे अरविंद है। अरविंद केजरीवाल ने गुंडागर्दी नहीं की, दूसरों ने की, तो वो तो कैमरे में आएगी नहीं। आप रिलीज करोगे तो भी हमें पता नहीं चलेगा। ये किस तरह की राजनीति है? ये क्या ट्रांसपेरेंसी है भगवंत मान जी? कैमरा क्यों था? सच्चाई कौन दिखाएगा? अरे आपको अगर डर नहीं है,
ये कैसे
आपको अगर डर नहीं है,
कह सकते कैमरा,
आपको अगर डर नहीं है तो टाइम्स नाउ के कैमरा को अंदर जाने देते। टाइम्स नाउ के कैमरा को अंदर जाने छुपाना नहीं
लग रहा है कि शायद कैमरा अरविंद पर था, लेकिन
आप मुझे ये आम आदमी पार्टी है। एक मिनट, ये आम आदमी पार्टी है, ये आम आदमी पार्टी है, वही आम आदमी पार्टी। एंड बाय द वे, आई थैंक प्रशांत भूषण फॉर ज्वाइनिंग मी सो फार into the debate. Prashant Bhushan, thank you very much. We go back to the debate. ये आम आदमी पार्टी जो कहती थी स्टिंग कराइए, कैमरा कराइए, ट्रांसपेरेंसी कराइए, वही आम आदमी पार्टी है। I can't believe what's going on.
तो मुझे ये बता दीजिए,
I can't believe what's going on. Can you?
अब ये कह रहे हैं
अरुण भाटिया, can you?
हुई थी, लेकिन कैमरा
Saba Naqvi, can you?
ये था
because you support. No, who wants to come in first? Madhu Bhaduri comes in, and after that Arun Bhatia. Madhu Bhaduri ji. Madhu Bhaduri ji first.
I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that I am really surprised that Prashant, whom I respect immensely, that Professor Anand Kumar here, that Yogendra Yadav didn't see that this was what the party was about. I saw it 1 year back. I was heckled in the first meeting of the National Council. The second meeting was held today. And in that meeting, Professor Anand Kumar, who is here, he was on the other side. I was not allowed to speak because I was a dissenting voice. A question, dissent, none of these is acceptable in the party, has never been. So why are they so surprised today? This has been the very nature of this party. And I was on the receiving end on that occasion more than a year ago.
Why didn't you see it coming, Anand Kumar? Did you back Madhu Bhaduri?
No, I'll tell you why. I tell you why he didn't see it coming. Because he was on the other side. And he was to gain there. He was there at that meeting. And he was on the other side. And I was not allowed to speak. And then Admiral Ramdas insisted that he would not speak unless I was allowed. So, and I wanted to bring about, to move a resolution. So, because of Admiral Ramdas, he forced them to let me speak. I hardly spoke 4 sentences when Ajit, Professor Jha took the mic out of my hand, and I was heckled, pulled out from the stage, and actually driven out of the hall. Professor Anand Kumar, Yogendra Yadav, all these people were then on the side of not allowing dissent. Today they are on the other side. How could they not see it?
Professor, answer her. Pretty straight, directed at you. No, let the professor answer, Saba. I'm sorry, I'll come to you after that.
With due respect, with due respect to Madhuji, it is true that in the first session I was the moderator, and she told me that she wants to say something about certain dimensions of foreign policy. I told her that it may be possible in the second half where I am not the coordinator, and I had to leave also. I was not there while Madhuji spoke, but she is right that anybody trying to speak from the floor had always a very dismissive experience.
But you didn't
speak. And we lost her, and she was one of our first casualties.
Okay, 1 second. Opening up the debate. I think, Madhuji, you made your point. You made your point. I want to get others in. Yes, Saba. Yes, Saba.
Sure.
Can I get in?
Yes.
You know, Arnab, what has happened, I found Madhuji's statement so fascinating, because today, AAP had such a phenomenal victory. What has really troubled me about this whole episode till now, really frankly, Arnab, has been how are some people pretending to be morally superior than others? They are the only voice of reason. They are the only truthful people. The others are all liars. They don't know anything. I mean, they've just been dirtied by politics. But what the lady has just now said, there is a point, and I think it's fascinating because she's also exposed those on the other side. So I think there is a very, very serious issue about the issue of dissent, and it must be addressed by Aam Aadmi Party. Arnab,
absolutely.
I think Arvind Kejriwal should be speaking to all of us.
Yes.
He should be giving me an interview, you an interview out there, because there are serious questions to be addressed here. What is the reason to make this into this kind of huge physical? You know, they would have won anyway. Because let's face it, Arnab, the truth is Prashant Bhushan was not involved in the Delhi campaign. Anand Kumar, Yogendra Yadav, they were all people who were standing on the margins. They were not expecting him to become so big. So they were on the margins, and they have become irrelevant.
Yeah,
I think the lady is the one who has spoken the truth.
So no, one second.
She left at that time, she had a problem.
A charge.
I would like to say something.
No, 1 second, please. There is a charge. And I hope Professor Anand Kumar hears that. But I'm going to Arun Bhatia next, and I'm going to Kamal Faruqui next, because they've been waiting for a long time. Bhagwant Mann ji, zara ye sun ke fir aapke baat pe aa raha hu. The question being put, one perspective is, why did this group not speak earlier? You see, now they have been thrown out. They could have spoken out earlier. They could have spoken out during the Delhi elections, Arun Bhatia. They didn't speak earlier. Maybe this whole question was, there's a booty to be got, and the booty is the whatever you get after the Delhi elections. Now, after that, they get no share of the booty. They were quiet till then. After that, when you are down to blows today, but why are you down to blows? Because you didn't get a share of the booty, one point of view. You didn't get ministerships, you didn't become deputy chief minister, you didn't get the top jobs. There is one small coterie around Arvind Kejriwal, Ashish Khaitan, Ashutosh, Sanjay Singh, who have taken over, Anand Kumar, Yogendra Yadav feeling left out. Right? You don't get a share of the booty, you threaten to expose. You do counter stings. Right? You don't know. One second, Anand Kumar, hear this. You can disagree with me after this. You don't know. You do counter stings. You plant stories. It doesn't work. They are not relenting. Then you say, listen, we want our people in the National Council, National Executive, for a balance of power to be maintained. When that does not happen completely, then it comes down to blows. So, this is an ambitious group that did not get its share of the prize. No, Anand Kumar, this is my perspective only to get your response to it. But I want Arun Bhatia. Arun Bhatia, because this question goes everywhere today.
Let me give you fact.
No, I'll take your response. Arun Bhatia, what do you think? Arun Bhatia and Kamal Faruqui, what do you think?
Yes, sir. Just 2 points. मान साहब, आप चेहरे से बहुत शरीफ आदमी दिखते हैं. मैं आपको विनंती करता हूं कि इस प्रोग्राम में आप थोड़ा सा सर झुका के सॉरी बोल दीजिए. बोल दीजिए कि आपकी मीटिंग बहुत गंदी थी. यू आर वेरी सॉरी. बिकॉज ये साफ दिखता है कि वायलेंस हुआ है. ये साफ दिखता है कि वोटिंग हुई नहीं है. और हमें सबको डर लगता है कि आम आदमी पार्टी ऐसी बन जाए तो फर्क क्या है. जैसे हम डरते हैं कांग्रेस के खिलाफ, सोनिया गांधी के खिलाफ कुछ बोलने से कि कल दरवाजे पे गुंडे आके हमारी पिटाई कर देंगे, हम आम आदमी पार्टी से तो ये एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं करते. आप उनके प्रतिनिधि हैं. आई रिस्पेक्ट यू यार. यू जस्ट से सॉरी, इट विल नेवर बी डन अगेन. नंबर 1. नंबर 2, ये जो अभी रेबल्स है वो बात अलग है. जो आई एग्री विद यू 100%. दीज आर द पीपल हु केप्ट क्वाइट.
वोटिंग हुई है और उस क्या
आप सुन लीजिए. आप सुन लीजिए.
मैं गवाह हूं, चशमदीद गवाह.
आप सुन लीजिए. आप शांत होकर सुन लीजिए. आप ग्रामोफोन रिकॉर्ड मत चलाइए. आप सुन लीजिए साहब. सुन लीजिए.
जी बोलिए.
सुन लीजिए. Second point, sir, is I agree with you 100%. These people who are so-called rebels now and are talking political philosophy and transparency and political decentralization were the very people who kept quiet when the first big scam in the Aam Aadmi Party took place. Wrong people were selected as candidates, track record and merit was thrown in the bin, favoritism prevailed, and to make it, to justify it, they set up a whole lot of bogus institutions. Fill up application forms. How much income do you have? Are there any cases against you? All that sort of shit. And then they set up these bogus committees to select candidates. It was a scam. Bhushan, Yadav and gang kept silent. They did nothing. Final point. Let Mr. Bhushan on tonight's show say how he got 2 plots illegally in Noida. Justify that before you point fingers at others.
Strong questions being put now. I'd like to get Kamal. Are these questions relevant? 1 minute. Kamal Faruqui, are these questions relevant? Are these questions relevant in your view?
No, they are not relevant right now.
Not relevant?
Absolutely, they are not relevant right now. I must put out why? Because in fact there are 2 very serious things which has happened recently in the politics. One, the huge victory of Mr. Narendra Modi, and the other is the huge victory of Mr. Kejriwal. Both have become very arrogant, and they are not listening to the people. In fact, they are not appreciating the democracy. They are not appreciating for the people. It's a very sad day for the Indian democracy, because the people have got lots and lots of expectation from Aam Party, and they have voted the BJP and Congress out from Delhi just to see that their own government comes. But the way Kejriwal escaped from earlier, immediately went over there for his health problem, and now today left the meeting in half decide. I think that is the very nature which is going to disrupt the whole thing. And I don't agree with the other gentleman who says, where were they earlier? I am a witness. Then I met Mr. Bhushan in the Calicut airport, and when I said that you are winning in a big way, so he said, Faruqui Sahab, the only problem is that at this particular point of time, there has been a lot of problem as far as the selections are concerned, and we have seen that out of these people who have been elected and given the ticket, lots of them have got the criminal record and all those kind of things for which the Aam Party has been fighting. So
Arun Bhatia,
as far as Bhushan Sahab or Yadav is concerned, I think they kept on raising their voice, but today's scuffle was unfortunate. It speaks very bad about Mr. Kejriwal and other people, in fact, because they were not in a position to take care of their own people, who are the pillars of the people. I tell you, as far as Yadav and Bhushan are concerned, they are the initial pillars. Lots of people have come later on, which were calling about the whole thing. So I personally feel it's a very sad day for the democracy. Very sad day for the democracy.
Authoritarianism, dictatorial attitude, not important. You're saying all of this is irrelevant. Authoritarianism, lack of transparency, dictatorial attitude, or irrelevant. 1 second, Madhu Bhaduri is responding to you. Madhu Bhaduri, 1 second. Madhu Bhaduri is responding to you. Yes, please.
You know, there is something that a lot of people have said, and one the lady on this panel has also said, not once, but I've heard her before, saying, how did the Aam Aadmi Party, you know, get such a mandate? I'd like to make 2 points on why it got such a mandate, and I think it's worth just looking into it. It has been bothering me. What is it that the people saw in the Aam Aadmi Party? Why has the party won? Why has it won at such a scale? And I think one of the reasons is because the party has a line of least resistance when it comes to social prejudice. Every social prejudice is supported because it is the line of least resistance. You don't go for anything where there is resistance. And the same is true economically. Look at Arvind Kejriwal. He goes and says to the FICCI that, you know, it is not the business of the government to do business. At the same time, he puts charges against the Ambanis for the gas contract. It is not at all clear what is his economic thinking. Is it one way or the other? Is it midway? What is it? It's nothing.
Okay.
He never comes out.
Okay.
This party never
okay,
comes
understood.
out
No,
with
point
anything.
understood.
Point
understood. Point understood. But I need to get Anand Kumar to respond to some things now. Now, Anand Kumar, I hope you answer squarely. I hope you also answer to some of the straight points which have been made here by Arun Bhatia. Principally, the issue right now is, why did you not speak earlier? Why did you not speak up openly about all of this happening in the lead up to the Delhi elections? Your outrage now proves that you wanted to win the elections and settle these issues later. If you were so disgusted with the state of affairs, Anand Kumar, a person like you should have spoken up much earlier. You should have had the spine to confront the party openly, as you are doing now, despite you claiming the party strayed away from the principles it was founded on. The fact, and I'm sorry if if you don't like what I'm saying, Professor, but the fact that you're still fighting to stay on indicates to me that this is a power struggle. This is a power struggle, sir. It's not an ideological fight. Yes, Professor. Why are you smiling?
Arnabji, I thank you. I thank you because I got the first chance in last 2 days to really explain that bottom line question, power struggle, why did we not speak? Fortunately, I'm on the right side of the line on all these questions because it is on record that Chief Arvind Kejriwal insisted that I must contest for assembly because I had a good performance in Lok Sabha, and I said, please no, I'm 65, give chance to younger people, when will they get a chance? Then they asked Sanjay Singh and Ashutosh to convince me that they are younger brothers to me, and I said, please no, don't put me there, I am already there on the map of Delhi. Second, sir, about the tickets, there was a committee appointed where I was the chair with Ashish Khaitan and Rishikesh Advocate, which interrogated the candidates about which there were complaints. And sir, I had the privilege to interrogate and often issue warnings. And I was one of those who was appointed as a new member of the...
Sir, I challenge you. Group. Sir, I question you. I'm sorry, this is not... No, Professor, I appreciate it. As I began by saying this, I said half a century in public life with no charge against you proves that you are a man of some ideals. So don't take what I'm asking otherwise, Professor. You and I have fought on this program on other issues earlier. Tonight we come on this program to leave all those issues aside to answer a few questions because people are watching, Professor. Now my question is, and don't take it otherwise, where was this same idealism of Professor Anand Kumar? Right? When Yogendra Yadav was at the forefront of the Aam Aadmi Party defense against allegations of funding made by Awam. Allegations on funding were made by AVAM Awam. No, 1 second. Yogendra Yadav was at the forefront of the defense. You defended the party to the hilt then. Now you grow a conscience. I'm asking you, where was your conscience then? That was the time to quit.
I think this question, no, this is a relevant question, but it must wait till Yogendra arrives in your program with your courtesy tomorrow.
Exactly, no, because Yogendra Yadav said this is a conspiracy. He called it a conspiracy.
There must be some basis for it. Yogendra is generally taking points around facts.
No, sir, 1 second. I agree with you. This question must go to Yogendra Yadav, but I persist with my line of questioning, with your permission, sir. And my question goes to Saba also and others who want to come into the debate. No, idealism is very good, Saba.
Yeah,
but idealism is very good, conscience is very good, but neither idealism nor conscience should appear in spurts and suddenly, right? Because where was this idealism with Prashant Bhushan when Yogendra Yadav defended Naresh Balian on Newshour after we debated the seizure of hundreds of cartons of liquor from a warehouse that he was using? Liquor was found. At that point of time, who was the person who was defending Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party and attacking the media? It was Yogendra Yadav, Saba. It was Yogendra Yadav.
Absolutely. So Arnab,
I'm saying, how is the conscience sprung today?
Astounding. Like I said to you in the beginning, that is what is astounding to me, is that, you know, and I have the greatest regard for Prashant and Yogendra and Professor Anand Kumar, who I do not know as well. But that is what is astounding me, is that they have all along said, we are the pure souls. Yeah. We are the ones who actually know. We are the ones who represent the volunteers. These elected people, what do they know?
Not really. No. Not at all. Not at all. No. We have no claim, no monopoly of virtues. No. We never say that.
Unfortunately,
actually, there is no charge against me. I was one of the mediators. But as you see,
having said that, let me finish. Having said that, I think the AAP is confronted with a very serious issue, because to have a cult around a leader would really sort of ultimately be very harmful for the party. Having said that, but I want to make the point that it has to be done in the right way. That's a very, very dangerous tendency. And I also believe, Arnab, that they didn't need to do this, because everybody would have gone along with Arvind anyway. He's such the lady was saying AAP won because of least resistance. It is the cult of the leader. He is a popular, charismatic face. He's a great campaigner. He's got the ability to speak directly. In all of this that's come out, I know it will be an unpopular point to make. One has heard speeches here, complicated analysis there. The guy got stung, and we heard him abusing and losing his shirt. But there was a certain honesty, at least in that rage that we heard so far. And now we need to hear from him. This is too much. This is supposed to be the people's government in Delhi. We need to hear from Mr. Kejriwal, because this is really looking very, very messy.
And Kejriwal has this habit. And a problem with Arvind Kejriwal, he has this habit. You give him a platform, he's happy. You ask him 2 tough questions, he's unhappy. We know the consequences of, because for example, you know, Arvind Kejriwal doesn't speak to Times now because he knows these uncomfortable questions will be asked. Don't speak, but answer the questions at some point. At some point, the way he's avoiding the media is unacceptable. Was there a proper vote? Were people beaten up? Was dissent crushed? Were the proceedings videographed? Right? Why are these infantile press conferences happening? Kamal Faruqui, infantile. Why is there virulent factionalism in your party? Where is your agenda of governance? Why aren't you asking? These are also questions, aren't they? Eventually, Kamal Faruqui.
Yeah, absolutely right you are, Arvind. So this is the question which everybody is asking Aam Party. That what is going on? Where is the agenda? Where is the democracy? Why this arrogance of power? We gave you so much power, not to be more humble. You people have become so angry man, in fact, that you don't want even to listen to your own people, and you leave the meeting in a half that he has got some more important thing. What the hell they are talking about? What more important thing could have been there? They should have kept the party together. There is absolutely arrogance on the part of
Bhagwant Mann, आखिरी सवाल, ब्रेक में जाने से पहले आखिरी सवाल आपसे है. एक तो ये वीडियो फुटेज को हम बिलीव नहीं करेंगे, आप रिलीज करेंगे भी तो, but you know what, this crisis, the biggest problem, Arvind Kejriwal, if you're watching, the biggest problem that surrounds you today, Mr. Kejriwal, around this crisis is that, Bhagwant Mann ji, आप उनको कहिए, लोग ये कहेंगे, he seems to be an indecisive leader, right? Who flees from the scene of crisis after making a speech like he did today, leaving his supporters to do the dirty job and the cleanup act. if he wants, no, one minute. Bhagwant Mann, a decisive leader, a decisive leader would not use an excuse. I have some important meeting, I'm going to go. Can you just throw these two people out while I'm away? You know the image, what will people, this is Arvind Kejriwal.
I would like to know what you...
No, yes, Kamal Faruqui, पूछिए.
Arun, I would like to...
Kamal Faruqui, पूछिए.
I just want to ask Mr. Mann what that important meeting was.
Yeah.
Open up it in the public. How important that meeting was that he could leave the party in a shamble like this? Why did he go from the party? Why did he run from the party?
Exactly.
He must answer which meeting he was going.
अगर वो वहां रहते भी फिर भी उनका अकेले का थोड़ी डिसीजन चलना
क्या बात कर रहे
से है ना 247 ने
क्या बात कर रहा हो यार, क्या बात कर रहा हो?
अनंत कुमार
लीडर,
अनंत कुमार, अरुण भाटिया, अनंत कुमार,
उन्होंने कहा मैं सभी पद छोड़ने के लिए तैयार हूं, मैं सभी पद छोड़ने के लिए तैयार हूं।
राजनीतिक ड्रामा।
अगर आपको लगता है कि आम आदमी पार्टी को मैं अच्छे तरीके से नहीं चला सकता,
अरे छोड़िए बाबा,
ये सब तो ड्रामा है,
छोड़ दीजिए,
ये तो ड्रामा है।
हम सारे पॉलिटिशियंस को जानते हैं, कोई नहीं छोड़ता।
नहीं, आपको ड्रामा लगता है ना?
सारा ड्रामा है, मैं छोड़ दूंगा अगर उनकी हिम्मत है, छोड़ के दिखलाइए।
मैं अनंत कुमार से पूछना चाहूंगा, प्रोफेसर अनंत कुमार, आपको क्या लगता है कि अगर
पहले 49 डेज छोड़ दिया था, पहले हिम्मत दिखा चुके हैं, जब हिम्मत दिखाते हैं तो कहते हैं भगोड़ा है।
अनंत कुमार आपको रिप्लाई करेंगे। अनंत कुमार, क्या आप ये चाहते हैं कि आपके सामने वहां अरविंद केजरीवाल हो, अरविंद केजरीवाल खड़े रहे और वहां पे कहे कि इनको निकाल बाहर किया जाए और मैं बैठा रहूंगा जब तक ये निकाले नहीं जाएंगे? वुड दैट हैव बीन अ बेटर ऑप्शन?
वो एक शानदार हमारी विदाई होती, क्योंकि हमको भी कुछ बोलने की तमीज है। हमारे ऊपर आरोप लगाए गए जबकि हम समझौता करा रहे थे। होम करने में मेरे हाथ जल गए और उसके बाद मेरी नाक भी आज कट गई है। मैं चाहता था कि जिसके हाथ में चाकू है वो सीधे हमारी नाक पर चलाता। भीड़ को उकसा करके हट गए और ये एक बार तो चल जाएगा, बार बार नहीं चलेगा। लोग पूछेंगे, आज आप भी पूछ रहे हैं।
ऐसी बात नहीं है, भीड़ को
और फारूकी साहब ने अच्छा पूछा,
बाइक आपने किया था प्रोफेसर साहब।
भाई मान साहब माफ कीजिएगा, मेरे आप बहुत प्यारे अजीज हैं। आपको अल्लाह और भगवान और गुरु
लेने के लिए
आपको तरक्की दे।
आ जाइए।
आप पंजाब के चीफ मिनिस्टर बने जल्दी से जल्दी, लेकिन वहां पर गुंडागर्दी थी। मैं इतने भयंकर मीटिंग में कहीं नहीं बैठा था 50 साल की पब्लिक लाइफ में, और मैं शर्मिंदा हूं कि मैंने इसको पहले से भांपने के बावजूद पहले मिनट में ही क्यों नहीं निकल आया। मैं बैठा रहा और बैठने के बाद मैंने जो देखा वो मैं कभी भूल नहीं सकता हूं। आप कहते हैं लड़कियां 80% थी, जिनको आप लड़कियां देखते हैं उनको मैं लड़के देख रहा था, और वो लड़के नहीं मुस्टंडे थे। वो उस इलाके के बॉक्सर्स थे। मैं उस इलाके को थोड़ा जानता हूं मान साहब, मैं जरा अगल बगल का रहने वाला हूं।
वही
माफ कीजिएगा मान साहब, माफ कीजिएगा। आपने मुझे निकल, आपने आज कभी नहीं गुंडों की तारीफ नहीं की है, इसीलिए तो हम लोगों ने रॉबर्ट वाड्रा का मुकाबला किया, इसीलिए हमने गडकरी के खिलाफ आंदोलन किया।
हमारे वॉलंटियर हैं कि आप उनको जानते हैं, वो सभी आपको पांव छूते हैं।
अगर वो आपके नेता हैं, अगर वो आपके वॉलंटियर हैं तो खुदा हाफिज महजाद, भगवान आपकी मदद करे। गुरु ग्रंथ साहब आप फिर से पढ़ लेना। वो वॉलंटियर नहीं थे, वो किराए के लोग थे। वो बसों में भर के लाए गए थे, उन्होंने लोगों को घुसने नहीं दिया।
वो किराए के लोग,
बहुत शर्मनाक दिन था मान साहब। संभालो इसको, घर में आग लग गई है।
वीडियोस में दिखा देंगे।
घर में सांप घुस गए हैं मान साहब, घर में सांप घुस गए हैं, बचो। मान साहब घर में सांप घुस गए हैं, बचाओ उस्मान साहब, बहुत बुरा हो रहा है आज से।
कोई बात नहीं प्रोफेसर साहब, कोई बात नहीं। आपको अगर कोई ऐसा दुख लगा, आहत हुए, मैं तो आपकी रिस्पेक्ट करता हूं। मैं आया था जब मुझे पता चला कि आप बाहर हैं, मैं आपके पास आया था या ना आया था, ये बता दीजिए।
नहीं, आप तो बहुत प्यारे,
आपने मेरे सवाल का जवाब नहीं दिया।
गांधी को समझाने आए।
नहीं, किसने जवाब नहीं दिया?
बगल में खड़ा था। नहीं, आप मुझे नहीं समझा रहे थे।
आपने मान साहब, आपने मेरी बात का जवाब नहीं दिया है। केजरीवाल साहब जो चीफ मिनिस्टर हैं, पार्टी के सबसे बड़े लीडर हैं, पार्टी में क्राइसिस थी, वो पार्टी छोड़कर क्यों गए? उन्होंने क्यों नहीं कंट्रोल किया चीजों को? अगर चाहे प्रशांत साहब की गलती थी या यादव साहब की गलती थी या किसी रमजान की थी या किसी और की गलती थी, पार्टी के बड़े होने की हैसियत से, चीफ होने की हैसियत से वो पार्टी से वहां से भागे क्यों? उनको वहीं रुककर कंट्रोल क्यों नहीं किया उन्होंने?
हेलो,
देखिए इन्होंने वॉकआउट इस तरीके से किया, वॉकआउट इस तरीके से किया कि वो वहां पे हल्ला मच गया। हम तो कहते थे कि आइए बैठिए बात करते हैं, बात तो अभी चल रही है, लेकिन ये इनको पता चल गया कि यहाँ पे तो हमारे पक्ष में कोई है ही नहीं है, तो सभी तो वोट जो उनको जाने वाले हैं, तो बाहर जाके बोले गुंडागर्दी है, बॉक्सर बुला रखे हैं, बाउंसर बुला रखे हैं, पता नहीं क्या क्या।
ओके, नाउ 1 सेकेंड भगवंत मान, इस बात को याद रखिए कि लोगों ने सवाल पूछे, ट्रांसपेरेंसी पर आपने निकाला, इंटरनल डेमोक्रेसी पर आपने निकाला, कॉम्प्रोमाइज ऑन कैंडिडेट सिलेक्शन पर आपने निकाला, फंडिंग पर आपने निकाला। दो अलग अलग पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू हो या अरविंद केजरीवाल के लीडरशिप को पर भी सवाल उठाया जाए, आपने निकाल दिया। कांग्रेस पार्टी के साथ सीक्रेट अरेंजमेंट करने के बारे में सवाल उठाया, सब निकाल दिया। एक सवाल यह भी आएगा कि व्हाई वर दीस क्वेश्चंस नॉट आस्क्ड अर्लियर, एंड इफ दे वर आस्क्ड अर्लियर व्हाई डिडंट दे क्विट अर्लियर? बट दैट्स अनदर पॉइंट. I am only going to say this at the end of this part of the debate, and the Newshour special Saturday night edition continues. I'll say just one thing. The one person who will be watching this very closely will be Anna Hazare. Somewhere he's watching this. And I wonder what he's thinking. All those people who go back to the spring of 2011, I think, when there was a heady feeling around the anti-corruption movement, I wonder what they would be asking themselves 3 or 4 years down the line, what has this ended up in? This is looking worse, I must say, than the fight that happened within the Janata Party many decades back. Arun Bhatia, I see your hand going up. Quick point to you and then I wrap, because I'm going to debate number 2. Quick point to Arun Bhatia, please. Quick point.
Yeah, I just
briefly.
Yes, thank you, sir. मैं मान साहब से एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ. ये क्या आप घड़ी बोल रहे हैं कि बाहर क्या हो रहा था, आउटसाइड क्या हो रहा था, जैसे कि उसकी जवाबदारी आपकी नहीं है. क्या आप ट्रक भर के गुंडे लाए थे, बाहर दंगा हो रहा था, शरीफ लोगों को, एल्डरली लोगों की मारछाड़ हो रही थी कि नहीं?
कोई
आप अगर उनको सपोर्ट करते हैं तो गुंडों में से आप भी गिने जाएंगे.
नहीं, कोई गुंडे नहीं.
हाँ, जरूर.
कुछ नहीं थे, हमारे वॉलंटियर थे, बकायदा ये सब जानते हैं.
तो फिर ये टीवी पे हम तो टीवी पे क्या देख रहे हैं?
Wrapping this up, debate number 2 coming up on the other side. What is the impact of all this? You know, let's go back 2 months. Arun Bhatia, my debate on the other side is this. My debate on the other side is this. 2 months back, take a poll around this country, everyone would say, if there is one party which can challenge the BJP, challenge Narendra Modi, it is the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal. Tonight, I do a poll and I ask you this question, and the hashtag is Warren Up. Tell us what you think. Today, can Arvind Kejriwal take on Narendra Modi nationally? Today, can the Aam Aadmi Party take on the BJP? And if there are questions over it, Mr. Kejriwal, in the process of throwing your rivals out, have you ended up losing out more? That debate on the other side on this Newshour edition.